Hey everybody, welcome back to Decode Tech. In this week's video, I didn't have a lot of time to prepare a nice size tutorial for you, and I've been thinking I should be doing this before long anyway, and I thought this was a perfect video to introduce comments in Python. So what is a comment? So last week I went over VS Code, and so here I am in VS Code, and I have this little hashtag and then a phrase after the hashtag. This is a comment in Python. And basically what a comment does is it's notes for the programmer, but then it is ignored by Python. So the Python interpreter will ignore any line that starts with a hashtag. So for example, if I go under the debug tab and hit the start button or hit F5 on my keyboard, down here in the terminal, we'll get the output, hello world, but this comment won't be executed. Some people choose to put the comments about what the code is doing beside the piece of code instead. So I'm just gonna cut and paste beside it like this. Gonna save and run again. This has the same effect. It'll run the line of code that is normal code, and then starting with the hashtag, it won't run the rest of that line. And you're gonna wanna get in a habit of commenting your code as much as you can. Sometimes you might write your code good enough that it might not need commenting, and sometimes that's really good because it means your code is really readable in and of itself. But you'd be surprised how easy it is to forget what you're actually trying to do with your code, and it just helps, especially other people that might not think exactly like you, to see what you were trying to accomplish. But I'm amazed at projects I've started and left for just a short period of time, came back and was like, okay, now what is this code doing here? And so comments don't take much time to put in, but they can save you a lot of time in the long run. Now I want to talk about multi-line comments. So say you have quite a bit to say about a file of code or something, and you want to really write a fairly long comment about some piece of code, you can do what are called multi-line comments. So I'm going to go up on line 1, just give me some space, and I'm going to do 3 quotes. And we saw in an earlier video that this is just a multi-line string. So if I say this is a multi-line comment, and then space down a couple times and put see this works too, and save that and run it, Python shouldn't give any errors about that. It'll just ignore it. And that is a multi-line string, but it works like a comment because even though it's a string in Python, we aren't printing it or displaying it, so Python in effect just ignores it. So for example, it would be the same as writing a string just with single quotes and running it. That doesn't break the Python code, but it doesn't do anything with the string, so it works just like a comment. So a multi-line comment is triple quoted strings, either triple single quotes or triple double quotes. Doesn't matter to Python. And the advantage of that is you can put it on multiple lines without having to start and end quotes on each line. Alright, now one of the neat features of VS Code that I mentioned in my last video, and if you didn't see that yet, I recommend you go check that out, is these tabs up here. So I already have a file ready for this next concept I want to show you called comments2.py. And so I have 3 lines of code here. So we've been looking at comments, and I want to talk about commenting out code to test it. So this code here, the 4th line of our file will fail because I'm trying to print the integer 5 plus the string of 5, which we know you can't join an integer and a string. We'd either have to convert the string or convert the integer to a string and then either concatenate or do addition. So I'm going to run it to show that it will fail. And you see we do get 2 lines outputted because Python reads from top to bottom. So lines 2 and 3 were fine, so they print out. But then line 4 does throw a type error. So what I can do if I'm not sure of which line is throwing the error, or I think I might know but I'm not sure, I can do what's called commenting out code. So it's perfectly good code, I just put a hashtag in front of it. Now that essentially tells Python ignore this line for now, but execute everything else. So if I run this, it now works fine and throws no error, and I'm like, oh, that's my line of code I need to work on. And then once you're done, you can just get rid of the hashtag and uncomment it out, and it'll run as before. And hopefully you fix the line if it was causing a problem. If it wasn't causing a problem, you can just uncomment it, and you're good to go. Then one last thing I wanted to touch on here with comments in this video is a VS Code shortcut to comment out a lot of lines of code at one time. So I can highlight this whole block of code, and on my keyboard I can hit Control / on Windows, or if you're on a Mac, I believe it's the Command key plus the /. And that'll comment out all those lines at once that I have highlighted. And then I can simply do that same thing, Control / or Command /, and it will undo that comment. And that works for a single line as well, like I did before. If you just wanted to do the print statement that would fail, you can comment it out that way quickly, and uncomment it just as quickly by doing the Control / or Command /. Alright, so that's going to do it for this quick video. I hope you found it informative, and I hope you get in the habit of writing these comments in your own code. I'm probably going to be writing comments in some of these tutorials, either for myself or to help you better understand the code. So I thought this was a perfect opportunity to show you that. If you have any questions on it, please leave it in the comment section down below. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. Subscribe if you're interested in following this type of content and you aren't subscribed already. And I hope to see you all in the next video.